Kindness. Let's talk about that. Kindness is something that just comes natural to someone. It's part of their spirit, part of their soul. I was at brunch the other day with a friend of mine, and we were actually talking about kindness. And she brought up the difference between being kind and being nice. So I thought that was an interesting point, because most people can actually be nice for periods of time. But if that's not who they are, what's in their heart, their soul, their spirit, other things will come out. They handle different things differently. They're not always nice. And also, everybody, even if you do have kindness in your heart, even if you are a kind person, you can still have a grumpy day or a bad day, but you're still kind. It's just part of who you are. So I thought that was an interesting point that she made. It seems like lots of places these days you see #BeKind or #kindness. You don't really see #BeNice. But as a mother, I have told my kids many times, you be nice. Be nice, play nicely. So, but kindness is different. I knew that my kids would be kind to one another. I knew that my kids would be respectful and empathetic, and they would be kind while they were playing with someone. But that didn't always mean that they would be nice. Kindness is also one of the fruits of the Spirit. God wants us to have kindness, act with kindness, be of kind mind, treat other people with kindness, treat other people the way you want to be treated. Today, Grant, poor guy, he had a hard day. He had to get some blood work drawn. He had to have an MRI with contrast. He couldn't eat or drink anything before either one of those procedures, and so he was grumpy. And I asked him about that. I said, "You're a little grumpy today." He said, "I know, I'm sorry. It's because I haven't eaten." That reminded me of when my kids were little. I used to tell them, you need to be kind even when you don't feel well. And that's something that's easy to do for people that just have a kind spirit. People that don't have a kind spirit, it's really hard to be kind when you don't feel well. Another thing about kindness, it's genuine. You're tender-hearted. That doesn't mean you're weak or meek. You're just a kind person. You care about others. You genuinely care about others. You do for others, not expecting anything in return. You just want to be kind. If you do hurt someone's feelings, it hurts you too, because you genuinely care about someone. There's all kinds of acts of kindness that you can do. I remember one time, this is many years ago, back in 2014, one of my dearest friends had passed away suddenly, and I was just devastated, heartbroken. I ran through Chick-fil-A just to grab a drink, and when the lady at Chick-fil-A handed me my sweet tea and my receipt, she handed me a little note, and it just said, have a beautiful day, or have a wonderful day. The person in front of me had actually paid for my drink, and I thought that that was the sweetest act of kindness, but also it was definitely a God wink. I needed that right then, right there, at that exact moment, and God knew that. God is kind to us. God forgives. God gives us so many opportunities while we're on earth. There's been a time or two where a friend or one of my kids will talk to me about someone at their office or someone at school who is just not being nice to them, not being kind. And it ruffles their feathers a little bit, and that makes them sad. And they really don't know how to handle it. And the first thing I usually say to someone is, just be kind. Kill them with kindness, kill them with who you are. It is really hard for somebody, even someone that is mean-spirited, to be mean to someone that is kind. Having 2 children with special needs, we've experienced people being unkind a lot, whether they're meaning to or not meaning to. We've experienced tacky remarks or tacky looks or huffs, puffs, irritation. But they do that not knowing a thing about our family and what our family's going through. One of my kids may have a challenging time doing the simplest of tasks. And I've always said it's kind of a blessing in disguise. My 2 children with special needs, a lot of times they don't notice it when someone is being hateful to them. And that's a gift. That's a gift of kindness from God, that they don't notice it. And then I'm probably a little hypersensitive to it. Same with their sister. Their sister, Brooke, is hypersensitive to it as well. She sees it when someone isn't kind to them. Just show acts of kindness to someone today. Buy someone's coffee or someone's tea or someone's dinner. Open the door for someone. Just do something for someone, not expecting anything in return, because that's who you are. Think about how kindness is different than just being nice. You can be nice for a few minutes, but being kind doesn't go away. It's always within you. So think on those things, stay positive, and until next time.